Jeb Bush and Donald Trump escalating their feud back and forth. Bush once again saying Trump is not a serious candidate for the White House. The former Florida governor earlier today playing down concerns that his own campaign is in trouble.
What I'm going to do is have town hall meeting after town hall meeting in New Hampshire, campaign in South Carolina, Iowa, and these early states, build an organization that's second to none, and show the momentum going into the debate.
All right. Eric Cantor, former House Majority Leader, is my guest now. He has endorsed Jeb Bush. In fact, he did it a few months ago. Welcome back here, and good morning to you as we say hello in your, I guess, your new life, because 2 years ago, you were upset in a primary that stunned the country. And many people had numerous theories about why you lost. And one of them is that you were part of the establishment and an insider in Washington. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. In 2016, is this truly the year of the outsider, or do we know yet?
Well, Bill, you know, first of all, I think what's going on in this campaign and going on in the political debate in this country is people are so angry and frustrated at Washington. And I think as a Republican, I too am angry. I'm angry at this president. I'm angry at the policies he's put into place. But, you know, the reaction to that, as far as our nomination process right now, is about anger. And you've seen Donald Trump. He is the chaos candidate, as Jeb has said, and he responds to that anger by making it even worse. And I think as we get closer to the time at which people will go to the polls, this anger will then funnel itself into a more constructive method, which is people, I think, will go into the voting booth and will say, who is best fit to be our next president? And clearly, you look at Donald Trump, he's full of vulgarities, full of insults, and he's just not serious. I mean, look at where he's been on policy issues. You know, 2 months ago, he says we don't need to worry about ISIS and Assad, and then he flips now and says, well, we certainly do need to, and then he says Putin is a great man. He says we've got to go in and keep all the Muslims out of this country. Those are not serious policies.
But it's up
and
to
the way that I think we
respond
respond to the anger, the way we respond to the anger, Bill, is we put forth a leader who's got serious policies, and that's Jeb. You go to Jeb2016.com, and he lays out a plan to lead this country.
That's up to Jeb Bush and the other candidates to challenge Trump on all those matters. And sometimes they do it effectively, and sometimes, frankly, they do not. And when you talk about channeling the anger of the country, what Trump supporters would argue is that he's channeling my anger, and that's why he's at 39%. That's why he's at 42%.
But again, I think,
and on it climbs.
I think you've got to go put these polls into perspective right now. I think everyone will accept the fact that primary voters do not make up their mind, 70% nearly, do not make up their mind until a month before they go to vote. In New Hampshire, I think the figure is 50% don't make up their mind on the candidate until the last week. So again, I think we're at this point where, yes, Trump channels anger by being even angrier, by being even more vulgar, right? But the most effective way to vindicate an anger or hatred, frankly, of what's going on is to put forth counter-proposals, serious policies that can go turn this country around. And Jeb has done that, and that's, I think, where this is headed.
React to this now. Our Fox poll shows this. The American people, how do you feel about your government? Is it broken? Look where it is. It's 66%. Look where it was a year ago and a year before that. I mean, that is a clear two-thirds majority who believe the government's broken. And that's why you see Trump doing what he's doing today. We also found 7% think the government is functioning pretty well. Those numbers are paltry.
Absolutely, but what's the best counter to that? Just to be angry along with everyone else? Or if you're going to be a leader, do you want to step up and say, look, I've got a plan? Jeb2016.com, Jeb lays out his plan to fix the broken education system, the broken immigration system. He lays out a plan to rebuild our military and to defeat ISIS, not just to go in and criticize and say vulgar things about candidates.
Okay,
and let me tell you something, Bill. The bottom line is we got to beat Hillary Clinton next year. How do you beat her? You beat her with a serious leader and a serious candidate.
Do you think the electorate is different at all in 2016 than it was in 2014 when you lost?
Well, listen, I mean, first of all, I mean, let's set my race aside because some different circumstances that exist in open primaries and things like that. But I think that the electorate is even angrier today than it was a year and a half ago when I lost my primary. Certainly, they're angry. They're angry to see what this president has done. He's run roughshod over the Congress. He's run roughshod over the American people, frankly, defying the law in many instances, which is why there's so many court cases now challenging the executive orders that he's implemented. People are angry. They're angry because their pocketbook seems not ever to grow anymore. Wages have not gone up under this president. We don't see any real optimism and growth. America has ceded its primary position as a leader globally. All of these things have contributed to the anger of the electorate.
When I hear that argument, and I pair that with the Fox polling I just showed you about how Americans feel about their government and broken, you're making a case for an outsider.
Well, listen, but no, I'm making the case for a real leader who's demonstrated the ability to fix problems, and that's Jeb Bush. He's the only one who has had a record of success in turning around a situation in his home state of Florida, one of the biggest states in our country, one of the most dynamic states in terms of immigration, in terms of senior citizens. He has demonstrated effective results, and then he's got a plan now to do the same for our country.
Then why is he in single digits?
Well, again, I think that what you're seeing is this anger is being stoked by a chaos candidate, and that's what's going on. But I do think as we get closer to the primaries, and history suggests that voters will always wait till the last minute to get serious about choosing the candidate that they will vote for.
We shall see then. How's your new life, by the way?
It's awesome. It's awesome,
yeah?
Bill. I'm vice chairman of Moelis & Company. We're a global investment bank. You know, having the ability to work with businesses, to grow them, and to create jobs, it's what I was about in the public sector and enjoying it now in the private sector.
Maybe a little more. That's what I'm reading between the lines now. Have a great holiday with your family. Eric Cantor from Richmond, Virginia.
You too, Bill. Merry
today.
Christmas.
Good to see you again.